So in 1961, I was a sailor down in Charleston, South Carolina, in a barracks, waiting for my ship to get back from the Mediterranean. One Sunday afternoon, there was a radio playing in the barracks, and it was a preacher came on there. There wasn't a soul in the barracks. I'd have probably turned it off had there been anyone nearby, but no one was there, so I listened. And the preacher, as I recall, I think it was Billy Graham, I'm not sure, and it doesn't matter. But the preacher said, you know, when Jesus died on the cross 2,000 years ago, he didn't die for the world on that cross. And I thought, what? From the time I was a little kid in Sunday school, for God so loved the world, he get, what? Boy, that woke me up. He said, he died for you on that cross. Whoa! An arrow. I'd always thought God being much too busy running the universe to have any concern about little old puny, insignificant me. And I thought to myself, this all took place in seconds. I said, but after what I've done, he'll never forgive me. I had the idea if you sinned and you didn't know any better, there was forgiveness for you. But if you knew exactly the commandments you were breaking, if they were running around your head while you were sinning, there was no forgiveness. I had that idea that I'd committed the unforgivable sin. I'd done several unforgivable sins, as a matter of fact. Horrible things. So out of the radio says, and no matter what you've done, the Lord will forgive you. He sent his son to die for those sins. Arrow number 2. And I thought, whew, wow. Someday I need to go to church and get saved. You don't have to be in church. Arrow number 3. And I was sweating by that time. And I turned off the radio. So I can't hear any more of this. I cannot go back aboard my ship carrying a Bible. It was a small ship. Everybody knew you quite well. After the stuff I'd pulled, there's no way I can go back aboard that ship carrying a Bible. Someday I'll go get right with God, but I can't face this now. And for 3 days I resisted. I tried my best to get away from this. I went to the Geedunk. That's like a little tavern in Navy parlance. And put down a pitcher of beer or two, staggering back to the barracks. I could not get the idea out of my head that God loved me. I could live with the idea of a God who was angry. I heard that all my life. He's going to beat your behind someday. Someday you're going to burn in hell. I knew about a God of wrath, but I put all that off into the future. But this preacher was talking about a God who loved me, who was my Father, who wanted to bless me, give me peace. And I couldn't live with it. I tried to get that out of my head. And then the next night I got drunk again. Staggering back to the barracks, I could not get out of my head. Why are you running from me? I love you. And finally, about the 3rd day or so, I knelt in a barracks in Charleston, South Carolina, and cried a bucket load of tears. And I said, oh God, I am such a sinner. There's no reason why you should save me. Please do. Please save me, based on the bloody sacrifice of your son. And I'm telling you, 1,000 pounds lifted off my shoulders. I felt immediately such a sense of relief and joy and peace. And the next day I went to the Navy Exchange down there and bought the biggest, blackest Bible I could find. I had been so afraid of facing the guys on my ship carrying a Bible, I didn't care. My heart was free, as we sang. My chains fell off. My heart was free. I rose and went forth to follow thee. And by the way, on my knees, I said, oh Lord, I've made such a mess of things, but I give my life to you. Please take it. Use it as you see fit.